Hey guys, it's Suds with another video here. We're going to be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks today and their free agent targets. Guys, I think they should target, and guys, they're likely to target. I think you should also check out my podcast. It's called the Post Up Podcast. I do it with Joey Fritsch, the other host on that channel. We talk a lot about the Milwaukee Bucks and also other Wisconsin sports teams. Plus, we talk about other NBA teams that you should maybe be interested in. I don't know. But let's start off with point guards for the Bucks. Also, before I get into this, I forgot. My video, the audio quality is probably not the greatest right now. I'm working out some kinks in my microphone, so just bear with me. To start on the video now, actually, we're going to go with point guards first. We're going to go three in each category, and we're going to talk about a little bit about each of them. First guy I'm going to go to is Patrick Mills. I didn't know it was Patrick. I always say Patty. Anyways, Patty Mills, I would really like him on the Bucks. A good shooter, good scorer, okay passer, not a great defender. Could be a really solid guy for us. We struggled in bench scoring last year. I would really like him in that role of being more of a, let me think, like a Lou Williams type for us. I would really, really like him in that role for us. Let's see, another guy I would like is, where is he on this list? DeLon Wright. 6'5" guy, can shoot the ball okay, 35% from three. I don't know what he was shooting from the field, but he would be a really solid defender for us. He can pass the ball, he can rebound, he can score okay. He's probably, if I had to predict his stat line on the Bucks, I'd probably go with like an 8, 4, and 4, and then maybe a steal or steal and a half, depending on how many minutes he gets. Just a solid guy that can play his minutes, can play his role. We like guys like that for the Bucks, and I think he can rejuvenate his career a little bit with us. Another guy, let's see. I wouldn't mind an Austin Rivers, but he's not the guy I'm going to talk about. The guy I'm going to talk about is Javon Carter, who was on the Bucks last year. He came from Brooklyn. We signed him on a waiver. We liked him. I thought he was really good for us. I thought he shot the ball well. His defense was solid. He just was a very good system fit for us, and I was actually impressed with the way he played because I didn't expect him to actually be useful, and I hate to say it, but when I watched him on Brooklyn, he just was not great, and he was not a great shooter, he was not a great passer, he just didn't do much for Brooklyn. So when he came to the Bucks, I was a little skeptical, but he really proved his worth, and I think he deserves to come back to the Bucks or a different playoff team. Now to shooting guards. Shooting guards, I really like Gary Harris off the bat. He's kind of like a Wes Matthews to me, but younger. I think he could play. Let me have to put him in perspective. I would just say Wes Matthews role. I already said it. He would be a Wes Matthews guy. An okay scorer, a good passer for the most part at shooting guard, great defender. He could just do everything that you want in a shooting guard. Another reason I like him is because of just the way he plays on the defensive end. I watched a lot of his clips. He has active hands, good footwork. He's just a very solid guy for the Bucks, and I like him to be on the Bucks in the future for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, but I don't know how much we can sign him for. I think we have a mid-level exception, so maybe 6 to 8 million. I don't know if he would sign for that for 3 years, but if he did, that would be a steal for the Bucks. Another guy I really like is a veteran guy, Wayne Ellington. I think Wayne Ellington would be good for the Bucks. He's a stretch guy, okay defender, getting up there in age, but I think veterans are very important. And I think I didn't think that until we had PJ Tucker, and I realized how valuable guys with 10 years plus of experience in the NBA are for a team. Another guy I really like is Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo is a guy we take a flyer on, but he played very well for the Heat, in my opinion, in the playoffs. He didn't shoot the ball efficiently, per se, but he was a good defender. He did his role. I think give him another year or two, and he'll be right back where he was on Indiana. Maybe not that good. Maybe maybe not even Orlando. An OKC role. I think he could be an OKC type guy. 18 points, couple rebounds, couple assists, a steal or two. I think he could get back to that level. but we'll just have to see what the future has in store for him. Small forwards. Let's see here. Small forwards. I count Wesley Matthews as a small forward, but he did play shooting guard a lot for us last year. I'm not going to talk much about him because I did talk about him a lot on my podcast, a post-up podcast. I don't know if I brought it up yet, but if I did, you should check it out. Subscribe to it. Also subscribe and like to this channel. I'd very much appreciate it. Otto Porter Jr., a very solid guy for us. I don't think he's going to be leaving Golden State, but if he did, I would like the Bucks to go give him that mid-level exception. He's fairly young. I think he's 29, not even in his 30s yet. He's had injury history, but I think it's worth taking the risk because he was fairly healthy for Golden State last year, and I think that's a good sign for his career. Let's see. Another guy, Nicholas Batum. Another guy I can't see leaving the Clippers. I think his role there is too valuable. I think he wants to play for Doc Rivers. No, what am I talking about? Doc Rivers. I can't believe I just said Doc Rivers. He's obviously not there anymore, but I think he said something about playing for the Clippers for the rest of his career. And I just don't see him leaving for that reason. I think he wants to be there, and I think he wants to end his career with the Clippers and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Let me not leave out Kawhi. A guy that I think is realistic, though, is T.J. Warren. I think give him maybe a mid-level if you really want to be risky. I'd rather take him on a vet min, though. A flyer guy, see if he can play. He hasn't played for I think it's been 2 years at least. It's been a while. Take a flyer on him, see if he's valuable, see if he can get back to where he was, and if he does get back to that point, you pay him his money. I mean, you really just take the flyer on that guy, like we did with Rodney Hood and Shemi Ojale. They didn't work out, but I think T.J. Warren has a way higher upside than those two, and I would really like him as a fit on the Bucks. Good scoring guy, 6'8". He kind of reminds me of Chris Middleton, but not a great defender. I don't think he'll have that mobility that he used to, but he's still a 3-level scorer, and we can always use 3-level scorers on the bench. Back to, I don't know if I'm going to go over power forwards very much because I don't think we need a power forward that bad. I think center is more for us. But a guy I really like is Thaddeus Young. He could play some small ball center, great defensively, good passer, good rebounder for his size. I don't really know if he would be a solid fit for the Bucks because of his shooting ability. But if he could figure out his three-point shooting, I know he was okay on the Bulls. The last time I saw him play was like really solid, was on the Bulls. I hope he can get back to that level. If he does get back to that level, I would easily take the flyer on him, take him to the Bucks. He was good on Toronto in parts of the season last year. Also on the Spurs, didn't play much on the Spurs, but when he did, he was solid. Let's see, a power forward. Jordan Nwora, I think, will be back. He will probably take the qualifying offer. I think it's probably about $1 million or $2 million, maybe $3 million. I don't know what it is, but he's shown promise. Not a great defender, not a great ball handler or passer, but he can shoot the ball, and that's what I like. He's a little streaky, and I really don't like him with the ball in his hands because he chucks up shots too much instead of passing to open shooters. But once he figures that out, I think he will be a solid fit for the Bucks for the near future. Let's see if there's any power forwards I would take also. I would take a guy like Taurean Prince. I think he played his role perfectly on the Timberwolves last year. He was good, solid. I don't really have much to say about him. I didn't watch a ton of film on him, but when I did watch him play in the playoffs, he played some solid minutes for them, and at points he was some of their best players on the floor. I don't know. I don't know if I'd take a huge amount of money out and put it on him, but maybe $3-4 million, I would give him that. Centers now. This is where it gets interesting for me because there's a lot of good centers this year, in my opinion, for the Bucks to get. I like Isaiah Hartenstein. I think he might be out the door because Nerlens Noel might be traded to the Clippers, which, let me just tell you, they're getting a super team with John Wall, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, and now they're getting guys like Norman Powell and maybe Nerlens Noel. They got Robert Covington. They just have a very, very good and deep team. I cannot see them losing next year, but we thought the same thing about the Brooklyn Nets, and look where they are now. So Isaiah Hartenstein, good at everything, all-around guy. He can't shoot the ball too well, but I think his shot could develop over time. I don't know how much it could develop, but if it does, I would really like him on the Bucks. Maybe bring back Robin Lopez, but he's not on my list. I just like him because he's Brooks' twin. But Thomas Bryant, I would really like on the Bucks. He reminds me of Bobby Portis. Energy guy, shoots the three ball well, can block a couple shots, good rebounder, but mainly the energy is really, I like guys on the Bucks that have energy because they really rejuvenate guys like Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew, when they might be having shooting struggles or stuff like that. You know, Bobby Portis will literally get fouled and he'll scream for no reason. I love that about him, though. I love it. Another guy I think I'd take a flyer on is DeMarcus Cousins again. Bring him back to Milwaukee. He was solid for us. I don't know why we let him go. I don't know if it was because they thought it was too risky, but we traded away Dante DiVincenzo for Serge Ibaka, and we all saw Serge Ibaka didn't do anything for us the entire year. He played like 10 games, and then he just disappeared. We didn't play him in the playoffs at all. I think he could have played in the playoffs, but Bud had his lineups and rotations. So a guy like him, I think he could come in, play some minutes. He can pass the ball good, shoot the ball well, rebound the ball well. His defense is all right. He's lost a couple steps, but I think he can come in and play some good minutes for us. Bobby Portis is obviously at the top of my list here. I want him back very badly. I know he's a fourth player, I think, for the centers, but he is the most reliable guy on the Bucks right now, other than Giannis, Chris, and Drew. I want him back as much as it takes. I will pay him anything he wants. Like $50 million, I will pay you. I think it's worth it. Bobby Portis has shown he has value, and I don't think letting him walk out the door would be a good and wise decision for the Bucks. But that is the end of the video. I'm going to leave it there. I can make more videos later in the future. Free agency is coming up June 30th, which is 2 days from this recording. I would really like to see some of these guys picked up for the Bucks. But if you like the video, comment, like, subscribe. Look at my other channel. Check out my Twitters. I have 2 Twitters, one for the podcast, one for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.